Hi folks, welcome back to Rule of Thumb, and today we've got another episode of Cookbook Corner. So, this is what we're going to do today. Today we're going to do a cookbook that I came across because of a suggestion in the comments section. Somebody asked if we could do a cookie cookbook on Cookbook Corner. Say that 3 times fast. Meanwhile, do y'all see this one piece of hair that just does not want to cooperate? So, I do have several cookie cookbooks in my collection. I'm going to be perfectly honest and tell you that I am not a huge cookie maker. And it really boils down to the fact that it requires time and patience that I don't necessarily possess. Cookies, although making a cookie dough may be very simple, the act of baking cookies requires a lot of skill and patience and timing, and yeah, not necessarily things that are on my list of fortes. So, but I do make them. I do enjoy them. So I do have cookie cookbooks that I do reference, and today we're going to talk about one of those. So this is the book we're going to talk about today. It is the Great American Cookie Cookbook. This cookbook is from 2001. I did do a little research online. You can get it on Amazon, although I'm going to be honest here, even though I usually put an Amazon link down below for you folks, because I have an affiliate link for you guys to click through. In this case, I think you can get this cheaper elsewhere. You can get it, if you Google the title, it comes up in several places, and you can get this as low as $1.99 through Barnes & Noble. So I always want you folks to get the best deal, so I would say do your research. Another great suggestion from another subscriber was to check out Half Price Books, which, if you have one in your location, I highly recommend going there because there is amazing deals there. That suggestion came from Mary at Mary's Nest. If you guys have not checked out her channel, I strongly recommend you do. She is amazing. She is in Texas, in the Texas Hill Country, as she says, and she cooks from scratch. She has an amazing wealth of knowledge, and so many things you can learn from her. So I will try to put the iCard thing up here if I can figure that out. Y'all know my skills, technically, still working on it. But I'll try and do that. If not, I will definitely put a link for her channel down below. But yes, she's been a good friend of my channel. She's super supportive, and her channel is phenomenal. So, all right. So without further ado, let's talk about this book. Now, the reason why I like this book is it does have some instruction in the beginning. So if you are not a skilled cookie maker, it does give you a lot of the basics. So it's all about cookies. It talks about dry versus liquid measure, which is relevant to most cooking. And if you don't know, there is a difference between measuring dry ingredients and measuring wet ingredients, and what tool you use to measure them. So this book talks about that. Cookie dough facts, cookie sheet savvy, decorating, using nuts and coconut, and how to toast them or tint the coconut, which I thought was really interesting. How to make the perfect cookie package, baskets, gift bags, tins, cellophane, I mean, it's just some interesting information. And then we go to, I'm going to tell you how this breaks down. So, They break it up by this. Drop by the cookie jar, which is cookie dough that you just scoop out onto a cookie sheet. Ship-shaped cookies, which are ones that are going to be more formed, like a peanut butter cookie where you crisscross it with the fork to make the little pattern on the top. Wonderful bar cookies, so making it in a pan and cutting it out into bar shapes. Brownies and blondies, which I thought was really cool that they included that in here, even though I wouldn't necessarily consider those cookies. I think it's great because they are more of that cookie batter consistency when you make them. And quite honestly, who doesn't love a brownie or a blondie? I don't know. I love them. Slice and bake cookies, so ones where you make the dough and then you chill it and then you slice them and bake them. Charming cookie cutouts, cutout cookies. There's some patience for you folks. No bake sensations, pretty much tells you what that is. Outrageous chocolate, so all kinds of different chocolatey cookies. Wildly delicious fruit and nuts. Those were some pretty cool recipes. Kooky kitty cookies, so kind of a fun section there. It is, 370-ish pages without the index, so it's a sizable book. So I am just really, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this book and just call out some recipes that I think sound interesting. There is some beautiful pictures in this book, so I might try and get some of those and insert those in here. So that's how we're going to do it. All right. So starting in the beginning, what I really find interesting is the very first recipe is a monster cookie. Anybody who's made cookies or is familiar with cookies has probably come across a monster cookie recipe at some point in their life, and they vary wildly from one person to the next. So this one is really interesting because it is literally like kind of the base recipe for a monster cookie. It's just the sugar and butter, peanut butter, corn syrup, baking soda, vanilla extract, oats, and chocolate chips. So it's kind of like the base. And then if you've ever seen monster cookie recipes, I mean, there's a million different add-ins you can put in them. Oatmeal cookies and ginger snaps, another, great base recipes. Carrot oatmeal cookies. I have not made those. However, they are on my list because I love carrot cake. I love oatmeal cookies. To me, that just really sounds like a recipe I gotta try. The other thing I wanted to say that they do in this book that I really kind of appreciate is they have these little boxes and they say helpful hint. So like this one, when measuring molasses, lightly spray the measuring cup with nonstick cooking spray first. That way all the molasses will go into your dough instead of clinging to the inside of the cup. Now, this is a pretty simple hint or tip. I do this, and I think a lot of cooks do this. But for somebody who's new, I think that's a really fun thing to have that in there to kind of teach them things as they go along the way. All right. Oatmeal coconut chocolate chip cookies. Yes. Let's keep going here. Double lemon delights. Ginger snap oats. Cornflake macaroons, one that I thought might be really interesting to try. Orange pecan gems. Here's another helpful hint. To keep pecans fresh tasting, store them in an airtight container for up to 3 months in the refrigerator or up to 6 months in the freezer. I have heard before from other people storing nuts in the freezer keeps them longer. I don't generally keep that many on hand that I have to worry about that, but it's a good helpful hint. Let's see. Fun food fact. Here's another one of those little boxes. Powdered sugar is granulated sugar that has been ground into a fine powder, which is then mixed with a little cornstarch to prevent clumping. So, if nobody's ever told you that along the way, if a recipe calls for powdered sugar and you don't have it, and you have a grinder or a blender that is a really good blender, you can put regular sugar in there and make your own powdered sugar. And you don't need the cornstarch if you're going to use it right away. So, another helpful hint. Um, let's see. Let's move along here. Spicy ginger molasses cookies. I love ginger. Just love ginger. Moving along here. Okay, I'm gonna change how I'm holding this book so I can go through a little bit faster here. Eggnog crisps. Alright, so now we're into ship-shape cookies. Low-fat molasses jumbles. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. Peanut butter cookies. That was the one that I mentioned. And peanut butter orange blossoms. Honey carrot cookies. Yes, I might add that to my list too. Honey ginger snaps. I've made those before. Fantastic. Pecan praline cookies. So much good stuff in here. Soft, spicy molasses cookies. I love molasses cookies. Now, either you like them or you don't. I mean, there really is kind of no medium ground on those. But if you love a molasses cookie, this recipe is actually great. It's a super simple recipe. Flour, sugar, butter, light molasses, milk, egg, baking soda, ginger, cinnamon, cloves, salt. It doesn't get much easier than that. And that's pretty much the standard through this book. These are simple recipes. These don't call for exotic ingredients, stuff that you can't get. These are all American cookies, like just like the title says. These are, cookies that have been being made in homes all across America for years and years and years. So these are good, tried and true recipes. Peanut butter thumbprints, I would be surprised if there's a few people that have not had those out there. Like, that is a super common cookie. Thumbprints in general, I should say. Oh, let's see. Double peanut butter supremes. I love peanut butter. In case that hasn't come across in the recipes I'm calling out. Linzer cookies. My father-in-law loves Linzer torts. And they're really, if you've never had it, it's basically an almond cookie, and it has just a little bit of, like, typically a raspberry jam in the center of it. So good. Both my husband and my father-in-law like them. So that's a good recipe to have. Moving into the wonderful bar cookies. Lemon cranberry bars, which would be great at this time of the year. What else do we have here? Autumn apple bars, another good one. Let's see, cranberry cheese bars. Absolutely wonderful pecan bars. Pecan pie bars. Chewy Rocky Road bars. Yeah, lots of good stuff. Let's see what else we got here. Get into brownies and blondies. Bittersweet pecan brownies with caramel sauce. Yeah. Okay, coconutty M&M's brownies. Very cool. Irish brownies, honey brownies, orange cappuccino brownies. Oh. What do we got here? Butter, semi-sweet chocolate, unsweetened chocolate, sugar, espresso powder, eggs, orange flavored liqueur, orange peel, flour, more semi-sweet chocolate chips, and shortening. Doable. All of those things, very easy to get your hands on. German chocolate brownies. I will definitely repeat that recipe. I've done that before and it's fantastic. Apple date nut blondies. Butterscotch brownies. I've made those. They're fantastic. Slice and bake beauties. This is a section I do not know much about because, again, slice and bake cookies, time, patience, not really my But the lip smacking lemon cookies. So, I mean, these are pretty cool because these are, you know, you can make these and roll the logs of dough and freeze them and keep them for a couple months in the freezer, and then just pull them out and slice them and bake them when you need them. So these are good make ahead recipes, especially if you know you've got things coming up like a bake sale or a cocktail party or friends coming over for brunch or, you know, grandkids coming over, those types of things. You can have these, and they're a quick, easy way to make cookies fresh. So this is a useful section if you're that kind of a baker. Cutouts, cutout cookies are a labor of love, especially if you're going to decorate them. I have a recipe from my mother-in-law for sugar cookies for Christmas that I will not be sharing with you because I was trusted with the recipe and I don't give it away, but it is fantastic. So cutout cookies, that's my exception to the rule on cutout cookies, is that recipe. That's the one that I make. But there's some good ones in here. They even got kolachki, which is like, what does it have in here? Margarine, cream cheese, vanilla, all-purpose flour, salt, all fruit spread or assorted flavors, egg, and cold water. And essentially what it is it is a cookie pocket that's filled with the fruit spread. And they're pretty tasty. And those are actually kind of fun to make. Cinnamon chocolate cutouts, peanut butter sugar cookies, peanut butter ice cream triangles. Yeah. Okay, that I might add to the list. So some of this stuff, because it was in the cutout section, I probably just kind of breezed by because, like I said, I don't really make a lot of cutout cookies. But now I might have to go back and look a little bit more closer. Here we go. No-bake sensations. Now this section's much more up my alley. No-bake ginger snap balls, cool cookie witches, no-bake pineapple marmalade squares, oat and dried fruit balls. I love some dried fruit sometimes. If it's done right, dried fruit can be so wonderful. I mean, I think sometimes it gets a bad rap because people haven't had it the right way. But dried fruit can be so good. What else we got here? Peanut butter crispy treats. No-bake butterscotch haystacks. Yeah. Lots of good stuff here. Funny face cookies. Peanut butter hopscotch treats. Alright, outrageous chocolate. I mean, you just know. It's all really great chocolate stuff in here. Chocolate, peanut butter swirl cookies, spiced chocolate pecan squares. Yeah, I haven't made those, but I've seen the recipe in here before. And now that I'm looking at them again, those might be coming up soon. As I make some of these recipes, because, you know, this now pulling the book back out and talking about it with you folks has kind of inspired me to get back in here and try some more of these. So as I'm trying some of these, I will bring you folks along. We'll talk about them. So it goes through the fruit nut section, kooky kitty cookies, these, you know, are just, you know, fun stuff to make with the kids. So I wanted to bring this, you know, to you folks, like I said, because I did, you know, get asked about it, but also because the reason why I thought this was great for 30 days of Thanksgiving is this is the time of the year that a lot of people are going to start their cookie making process. So whether or not you're going to start baking them right now, you're you know, a lot of people are certainly starting to make their list. I have quite a number of friends that, you know, make cookies and give them as gifts. You know, they box them up, and we have some friends that send us a box of cookies every year that we very much look forward to, and then we send them hot chocolate mix. So it's our holiday trade for, you know, for Christmas. So that's why I thought that this book was relevant during this time, because a lot of people are starting the planning process. Some people do actually bake cookies over Thanksgiving weekend. You know, they'll have family in town, or grandkids in town, or nieces or nephews. And because they have everybody there, it's a good fun time to get everybody together, get in the kitchen, make a mess, make some cookies. Making cookies with other people is super fun. Like I said, I'm not a huge cookie maker because of the time and the patience and all that kind of stuff. But when you can do it with a group of friends, or one other friend, or, you know, if you get your mom or your grandma or your aunt or your uncle, or, you know, nieces, nephews, whatever, if you get these people in the kitchen with you, it makes it much less monotonous, you know, much less tedious, you know, because you're having the fun. You know, yeah, you might overcook a batch or whatever, but that's part of the fun. So that's why I thought this would be a super fun book to bring to you folks at this time. You're going to see this on Thanksgiving Day. This is going to be the Thanksgiving Day video. So I do hope you folks are having a very happy Thanksgiving. I did also want to, in this video, just say thank you to all of the channels that have been a great support to me in starting this journey. Heather at the Kneady Homesteader, Kristen at Game Time, Lisa at SuttonsDaze, Mandy at More to Life. You guys have really been an amazing support to me in the beginning, with the technical things, with learning YouTube, with figuring out how to upload things. You know, I mean, it has been such a really wonderful experience for me to have amazing YouTubers like yourselves, you know, help me with my journey and help me get my foot in the door and get started. We've also had amazing content this month from all the people in this collaboration, which is myself, Lisa from SuttonsDaze, Ed at the Fun Cooking Channel, All Things Alicia, and the Resident Foodie and Hoarder. So if you have not checked out their channels, you definitely should go take a look at it. I have all of their links in the description box below. They put out some really amazing content this month. So, I just, you know, I can't say thank you enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you folks are having a very happy Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification button if you want to know when the videos are coming out. I hope you enjoyed this. Come back and see us soon. And as always, I hope you had a great day.